What's going on, guys? It's your boy CSW and welcome to London's NFL on the go. On today's special episode, we're here at the Jacksonville Jaguars practice in London as they get ready for their matchups against the Falcons and the Bills. Let's go check out the team at practice before we meet our special guest.
Ran a kickback for 102 yards last week. He's a great returner, breaking through arm tackles, running away from these big guys, Gus.
I'm here with Jaguars wide receiver Jamal Agnew. Jamal, welcome to London.
I appreciate
you.
I appreciate you having me, man.
It's good to have you over here. You've been here a couple of times, but you were just telling me about Belfast, about going around the whole of the British Isles. What's your favourite spot?
I mean, we went to a lot of different spots. Obviously, we did the player tour, so we went Liverpool, Belfast. We didn't get to catch any soccer matches. I think I'm going to do that, go to the Chelsea-Fulham game match this weekend.
Oh, that's a big London derby. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, so this will be my first match going to, so I'm excited for that. But
who will you be rooting for, Chelsea or Fulham?
I mean, I used to play with Chelsea growing up playing FIFA.
Yeah.
But I think the best answer, politically correct answer, should be Fulham.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I love it. Jamal, there's one question that's been on my mind. I wanted to know, because being an international player, I changed from rugby to go to the NFL, was part of the International Player Pathway program with the Steelers. Mm-hmm. But your journey is completely different from that. Unranked to then playing college football to then getting drafted and all pro. Like, how does that happen in the space of 5 years?
It's just believing in yourself. I mean, I'm sure you believe in yourself, you know, transitioning from a completely different sport to American football. Like, I played DB my whole life. I played defensive back and transitioned to receiver my fourth year, going to my fifth year. And it's really just having that confidence, knowing that you belong, knowing that you have the same abilities as everybody else. And I mean, just believing in yourself goes a long way. And it just like, that confidence just exuberates through like you're playing.
Yeah. So how, when you decided to go from DB to wide receiver, what brought about that transition?
I just wasn't playing much on defense. Obviously, I was returning punts and kicks.
Yeah.
And I was used sparingly on offense. And I would always just say, like, I could play receiver. Like, I mean, I'm athletic enough.
Yeah.
I think the learning part was the toughest part, just like learning formations, plays, concepts, audibles, like that was the learning curve for me. But I mean, I was just always telling them like I could play receiver, like, and then finally they just like, let's do it.
The more you can do, right?
The more you can do. That's what they say in the NFL. The more you can do, just create that value. The more you can do, you just become more valuable to that team. You know, I'm just able to show my versatility, and I haven't looked back since.
In terms of your career highlights, 109-yard touchdown. Can you walk us through that play?
I mean, if you return punts or kicks, that's literally your dream. Is somebody lining up for a long field goal that you know they're probably not going to make, and just getting the opportunity to run against a bunch of big guys. I mean, the only guys that could possibly catch you are the kicker and the punter. And if you're a returner, you never want to get tackled by a kicker or a punter. So, I mean, I got that opportunity. I was like, if he doesn't make this, I'm going to score.
So you're thinking that before you caught the ball?
Oh yeah. I'm thinking that if he doesn't. And the crazy part is the kicker, Matt Prater. I played with him in Detroit for 4 years.
Oh.
So I know he could have possibly made that because he's got a boot, but it was from 68 yards. So I was like, maybe he can make this, maybe not. And when he kicked it, I was like, it kind of looks like he's about to go in. And then it started like tailing down. I was like, oh, I'm about to score. And the rest
What were
is
you
history.
thinking when you were high stepping into the end zone? What was that feeling like?
I just heard the crowd going crazy. I kind of blacked out, because then I got in the end zone, and it's just like a mob of people just tackling me. Obviously, it was halftime too, so like they could run on the field and stuff. But like I just felt like a million pounds in me because everybody just jumping on me. It was a crazy moment. I'll probably never forget that feeling.
Where does that rank in terms of your career highlights?
That's number one.
That's number one.
Yeah, that's number one.
That's number one. I love it. Right, we're going to switch gears quickly. So We're going to build out your starting lineup. So I'm going to give you some NFL archetypes, and you're going to tell me players you played against or with who you think best fit the description.
All right.
Is that cool?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to kick things off. So the showman. This player is the charismatic life and soul of the team. He's the one who always balls out when the pressure's on. Who are you thinking of?
I'm going to go with Zay Jones. I mean, Zay is every sense of that, the showman, but he's very reserved, but knows when his energy is needed, and then always makes clutch plays. Like you see all throughout last year, Zay was making crazy clutch plays, and you know we could count on him when we need a big play. Throw it to Zay.
Do you think a lot more is going to come this season from him?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We haven't even seen the best.
Exactly.
Okay, next, the leader. So the person who really keeps everyone together in the locker room, the person you can depend on and knows everyone's role and gets them to perform at their best. Who's that?
Obviously, 16. I'm going to say Trevor. You know, he's just always so poised, cool, calm, and collected. And then, especially for how young he is, you would just think he's been in the league for so long. He's just so calm. Even when, you know, stuff's hitting the fan, you know, obviously when we're down 27-0,
Yeah.
you know, he was just like, next play, like one play at a time. And, you know, we just kept chipping away. And just his poise and his leadership at a young age it's just really cool to see.
What do you think is his ceiling? Like, how far do you think Trevor can go?
The sky is the limit for him. I mean, he's always looking to get better. I mean, you see him at practice when, you know, the offensive period is over. He's on the other field getting extra work and, you know, throwing some routes that he felt like he could have did better at. And he's just always looking for an edge to get better at. And just seeing that from such a young player who's got so much pressure and like, you know, franchise player, you know, generational player, like he wears it so well and he just handles it so well, and it's cool to see.
How's that been for you, especially you've changed position, you've got a young quarterback.
Yeah.
Does he still give you confidence in terms of making that transition, giving you the ball, making plays, giving you opportunities?
Oh yeah, he does that with everybody. I mean, he said it the other day, like, you know, obviously we've been struggling, but he's like, I trust everybody in this room. And, you know, he exuberates that confidence in you. And just seeing that poise in him, even when, you know, things are kind of bad, it makes you raise your level of play. You know, you want to play better for him.
Yeah.
You want to not let him down because, you know, he's putting his all into it. So, you know, you got to put your all into it too.
True leader, man.
True leader, man.
Okay, the locker room joker, the prankster, practical joker, tells the best stories, has everyone rolling on the floor laughing. Who's that?
Man, I'm going to say the whole DB room.
Really?
Our whole DB room is full of clowns. I mean, you see them in the locker room, they call it shadow boxing. They're doing that little, where you got to look the opposite way. I mean, they set up like a whole boxing ring where they got music, they got the card people, like, they got the announcer, like, it's crazy. They're just always joking around. Whether they're playing ping pong, we got a little basketball hoop in the locker room, shooting hoops. They're just always messing around.
So who's the biggest joker out of that group?
Out of that group, it's either Cisco or Daniel Thomas. Those two are some clowns.
Does it ever make you miss being in the DB room because you're missing out on a bit of that fun?
I mean, I kind of get all the interactions not being in that room, but I mean, I'm sure if I was in that room, it'd probably be even funnier. But I mean, our locker room is pretty close, so like we interact all the time.
Okay, the dark horse. What player in the Jags locker room do you think doesn't get the respect they deserve?
Doesn't get the respect they deserve. I'm gonna say Foye. I mean, Foye has led the league in tackles like the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, he racks up almost 200 tackles a year, like, which is crazy. And then he plays every snap. Like, I don't think he ever comes out the game unless it's like field goal block or something. But I feel like Foye, especially his vocal leadership, like he leads by example and then also is very vocal. And I think you need that from a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Somebody who's just gonna set the tone with his pads and then also set the tone with his voice. Yeah. And then also, he's there every snap, so he's not missing out. He's not missing games. He's not missing snaps. I mean, he's out there going hard every practice. So, I really don't think Foye gets the credit he deserves.
Yeah. Why do you think that part of not giving him his flowers? Do you think it's just because he just keeps his head down and just does the work and doesn't complain, doesn't say anything, or What do you think it is? Does he need to be a bit more of a showman? Like, what is it?
He's just exactly. He's not flashy. Like he doesn't care about any of the media hype. He doesn't care about getting flowers from anybody else because he knows who he is.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's capable of, and that's what I love about Foye. I think he's got his own little brand called Ugly Gang. Like he doesn't care. Like, I mean, he just goes out there and balls and does it every day, and he's the same person every day, and I got to get that shout out to Foye.
Big shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, last up, the trash talker. Who talks the best trash in game or just even in practice?
I would say the biggest trash talker would probably be, I played with him for 4 years in Detroit, Quandre Diggs. He's, especially if I'm playing against him, he talks a lot. I mean, that's like my big brother. I mean, he was like my mentor when I got drafted in Detroit, but whenever we play each other, he's just nonstop, just like, what up, little bro? Like, yeah, he's funny, man.
So now we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
In terms of wide receiver attributes, we're going to build your perfect wide receiver. So I'm going to give you some characteristics. So like hands, so who's got the best hands, catching ability, speed, route running, and that dog mentality.
Okay.
I need one player for each of those. So starting off first, who's got the best hands? And that could be all time or that could be someone you played with.
Best hands? I'm going to say Randy Moss.
Sprint out by Johnson, deep down the left sideline for Moss. He juggles, he's got it, touchdown!
I grew up watching Randy Moss. He was one of my favorite wide receivers growing up, and he used to just pluck things out the air, boom, boom. So I'm going to say Randy Moss.
What do you think it is that made Randy Moss so good that people even call it mossing someone?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's got his own, what do you call it, verb or adjective? Yeah. Like, I don't think anybody has that, like, in the history of the game, like, other than, like, Kobe. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, you don't ever see, like, they got a whole segment on ESPN. You got Moss, like.
For one player.
Randy was just, like, the perfect combination of size, speed, athleticism, route running, hands, obviously. So, I mean, he was a unicorn.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so speed.
Oh, I got to go Tyreek.
With the poor punt, with the best beginning field position, 35 of LA. He's got Who? That's a touchdown!
You're a fast guy yourself.
Yeah.
Man. 4.3, 4.40.
Yeah.
That is insane. You're a track runner before, previously.
Yeah. I only ran track 1 year. I think that's my biggest regret is not running track all 4 years of high school. But, I mean,
it definitely helped.
It is what it is. It helped for sure, so I wish I ran all 4 years. But
who do you think would win in a race, you or Tyreek?
Where's my Fulham kicks, bro?
I'm going to say me, because I'm a confident person. But if we're building the perfect wide receiver, I'm going to throw the speed on Tyreek.
Okay, I respect it. I respect it. Okay, route running. Who's got the crispiest routes?
I'm going to say Calvin Ridley.
Lawrence fires, and it's caught by Ridley. And he's still going. Calvin Ridley down the sideline. And he was
Man, just watching Ridley work, watching him run routes, you wouldn't think he sat out of football for 2 years.
I think a lot of people are sleeping on him this year.
Oh my gosh, you don't understand. His routes are ridiculous. I mean, they should start saying that, ridiculous. Like, I mean, he's probably one of the best route runners I've ever seen in person.
Yeah.
And like, he goes so hard in practice, and he works so hard. So I'm just happy to see him back and doing what he loves to do.
Yeah, and I'm sure the London fans are ready to see this weekend what he's got.
They're gonna get a show.
Oh, I bet. Okay, last up, who's got that mentality? Who's got that dog mentality?
That dog mentality. I think Kirk.
is not getting a workout.
Let's just say it's accumulated.
Lawrence, he's going to go long, and it's caught by Kirk into Kansas City territory.
I love Kirk's mentality because he's a quiet guy, but you feel his presence every play. Like every time he touches the ball, they're like, oh, we gotta stop 13, like, because he's literally the silent assassin. Like he's a man of very little words, but his game talks a lot. Like he's out there Euro stepping people on the field. I mean, running by people, and I feel like he's also somebody that doesn't get enough respect. I get to watch him come to work every day, see the work he puts in every day, and he's somebody I look up to, even though I'm a year older than him, but I still look up to him now. But Now, Kirk definitely got that mentality.
Those 4 guys you just named, I think they could be all pro year after year after year.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a combination.
Easy.
That's a hell of a combination. So, listen, Jamal, it's been a pleasure. Good luck for your upcoming games, and I'm looking forward to seeing you ball out for the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, man.
There's one person I had to make sure I caught up with today, and that's London's very own Ayo, Jacksonville Jaguars IPP player. Because what year is this now? 3?
Second. No,
second.
Yeah.
Oh, second. So you can find your feet now. This is the season to really make the next jump.
100%, and you can see the difference between first preseason.
Yeah, oh man, you're balling out this season.
Yeah,
Did you feel much more comfortable?
Way more comfortable.
Yeah.
Way more comfortable.
What do you think in terms of like getting more snaps, getting more plays? Like, what's practice looking like? Like, how is that translating into your confidence?
I think it's like I just had to earn their confidence, obviously, because IPP is kind of it's unique. Like they select everyone to be there, and they select you to a certain extent, but still it's different. So I think I just had to earn their trust.
Yeah,
first year.
Really got to earn your key, especially the first year coming in, completely different level.
Right.
I don't know about you.
Right.
But my second game was Lambeau Field, Green Bay Packers, 85,000 people. Yeah. Never been in a stadium that loud.
Right.
So even just adjusting to that, when I was talking to guys who are at Penn State, or
normal.
Like, it's normal,
Yeah,
100,000.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
Right,
and so they're used to operating on that stage,
Right.
whereas me coming from rugby, where you get like 15, 20, 40,000 on a good day, like to that stage, it was completely different. Have you found that kind of adjustment in terms of the expectation and the fans and all that stuff?
Honestly, that's probably been the easiest part for me, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? I think it's more like myself, the pressure I put on myself more than anything. When I'm playing, I don't even notice the fans. I don't hear the fans. So that's been fine. But yeah, I put more pressure on myself than anyone could ever put on me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that was the biggest thing. Second year, I learned to just trust myself a little bit, like calm down. And that definitely helped.
And especially that mental side.
Right.
I know we've spoken before about those pieces where not many people, there's few people who understand the journey of like an IPP player, where there's guys who are undrafted and then there's IPP. Right. Do you know what I mean? There's IPP. Right. So it's like you're clawing and just scrapping for any reps you can get in practice that first year. Right. But then, like you said, once that second year comes around, you put the work in the off season, you know your assignments, your details, you actually get the opportunities. And also, like, what's the locker room like? How's the locker room been receiving you compared to when you first got there?
Yeah, I'd say they're definitely more comfortable with me. I guess they were always pretty open, but I guess, you know, I've been a whole year with them now, so went through a whole season with them, went through 2 camps with them. Yeah. That's a lot to go through with the same group of people, so
100%.
Developed some really close bonds there. So
are they picking up any of the lingo?
They're trying to. I don't know if they're succeeding, but they're trying to for sure.
What kind of stuff are they trying to pick up and say?
You know, Top Boy, Top Boy just came out.
Yeah.
So I hear, where's the food, fam? I hear that maybe like all 10 the time. Times a day, you know. But I let them have their fun with it.
How does it feel to be back again in London?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's kind of surreal every time I land. I'm like, I'm really here, like, as part of an NFL team. Like, I never would have pictured that. Like, I always thought I was going to be playing at Wembley for soccer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So every time I come back, it's kind of weird. Yeah. Makes me realise how far I've come.
Huge blessing, though.
Massive blessing.
Have you got family coming to the games?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, brilliant. So honestly, it's been good to chop it up with you, and for the rest of the season, going into next season, obviously a big year. Right. I'm wishing you every success.
Appreciate you.
IPP now has 32 allocations.
Teams. Crazy, yeah.
What do you think that means? What do you think that means for the league?
I think it's gonna only be a good thing. You know, I think it's gonna make the international market more competitive, and I think kids coming up are really gonna genuinely believe they have a chance if they put the work in. So I think it's great for the international game, you know. It's because of guys like you know what I mean, that it's been possible. Obviously owners and teams like the IPP, so that's good. And I think it can only go up from here.
I think the biggest thing as well is that knowing that you've been part of history, you've been part of something before it's been expanded, that next step to truly give other people who be like the FAs, the Jordans, me, an opportunity to live a life that you might never have thought you'd have an opportunity
100%.
to. But more than that, it's like a dream can be a reality even if you're not born in the
100%.
US. And I think that's the biggest thing. So keep flying the flag, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to London's NFL and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of this great content.